what are the top 3 skills you need to motivate your team? If you really boil it down and, leader comes to you and says like, hey, how can I be a better leader? What are the top 3 things that I need to be a motivating leader?
Yeah, I think for me on this, it does boil down to 3 things. The first one is for leaders to create a compelling vision. The second one is to lead by example. And then the final one is, and we've touched on it already, is empowering your team. So starting with the compelling vision, we know vision is important, but I think sometimes vision statements are sometimes just painted on the walls of organizations or on the websites. So it's got to be something that it's compelling, it's exciting, it's something of the future. And the reason why it's important, it makes people lift their gaze from their day-to-day. Their day-to-day, they're a data analyst and they just put data in, or they're working for NASA back in the 60s, and their mission statement or vision statement is to get a man on the moon by the end of the decade. Inspiring, compelling vision, massively compelling. But you may just be the data analyst, but actually when you go into a meeting and they get reminded again, our vision is to get a man on the moon, you go, yes, that's why I do the data analyst. That's why I do that job that will get that man on the moon. That's why I'm the man who drops off, the spacesuits, or the supplier that brings in the fuel for the rockets. It's something like that starts to make everybody's part to play part of that vision. The other one is leading by example. And again, sounds really dull, sounds really not very impressive as management speak, but role modeling is, again, something that is really powerful. It's our imagination and imitation are powerful forms of learning and really shape human behavior. It really does. And throughout our lives, from the day we're born, we're imitating patterns of other people around us. A lot of it is subconscious. And so it's important to be aware of this and, to really do it. Because
my daughter doesn't do what I tell her to do. My daughter does what I do. And like the point you're making, like in same thing in the business, the idea is, if the leadership team doesn't walk the walk, everybody thinks like, why the heck would I do this? Right?
Yeah. And I talk with a lot of leaders and I say to them, just be mindful that the moment whether you're on a Zoom call, whether you're walking into the office, whether you're sending an email, people are observing you in some capacity. And some of it may be conscious, some may be subconscious. Just make sure you're cognitive of that. And then the final is empowering, which we've talked already on, actually. Again, it's fulfilling and increasing your capacity. I say to a leader, you've got a team around you. If you empower them, you are multiplying your capacity, your impact, and your innovation and your productivity. So go and do it and take the risk of some failures and mess ups. It's far more risky to empower than not to empower.
I hope you enjoyed this How We Solve content, that you got a few takeaways and nuggets that you can implement into your business. If so, hit that subscribe button. And if you have any feedback, comments, or if there's anything else we can do, go to howwesolve.com, leave a comment below, check us out. I'm out, rock and roll. I appreciate you. See you on the next one.